Hi folks, HR Funk here with a video that's going to be a departure from some of the long-form firearms reviews and product testing videos that I've been doing recently, not to mention some of the very laborious and tedious comparison videos. And instead today I'm going to be doing a video on this Springfield Armory Hellcat pistol. And there's a story behind this video that begins with a recent conversation with a friend of mine, and he mentioned that he had seen some of the videos that I produced where I've been shooting my own Springfield Armory Hellcat. Most recently, that would be the one where I made the comparison video between my Hellcat and my recently acquired IWI Masada 9S. My friend went on to say that he has fired several Hellcats and he has never been able to get the kind of accuracy out of the Hellcats that he has fired that I'm able to get when I'm recording my videos. Which struck me as kind of odd because I have always felt that my personal Hellcat was a fairly accurate little handgun, more accurate than I would expect for such a diminutive firearm. And my friend said, of particular note is this Hellcat, which is the worst offender in terms of accuracy. And he said that he has done several things to this handgun to try to improve the accuracy. When he first got it, he wasn't happy with the accuracy they got with this pistol in its factory form. So he replaced the barrel with the one that you see here. Obviously it is threaded. And the barrel says true on the side. I'm not sure who manufactures it, but this barrel was one attempt to improve the accuracy of this handgun, and that did not succeed. He also replaced the trigger, and you can see this has an aftermarket trigger, which also didn't help with the accuracy, and he went so far as to install this laser light unit, and still he's getting what he more or less was describing as basketball-sized groups from this handgun when he goes out to shoot it. So he asked me if I would take this Hellcat and try to shoot it myself and see what kind of accuracy I could get. So I thought, all right, that sounds kind of fun. So I'm going to be out here today shooting this Hellcat, and I decided to shoot it side by side with my own Hellcat to see if there's any difference in the accuracy that I'm able to obtain with this one as opposed to mine. And if so, how much difference there is. And maybe I can even use that if I'm seeing poor accuracy on the part of this pistol to determine what is causing that poor accuracy. In any case, this is going to be kind of a fun, lighthearted video. And in just a couple of minutes, I'm going to kick things off with a two-hand slow fire accuracy test from a distance of 7 yards. I'm not going to be shooting either one of these from the bench. And we'll try to find out if this Springfield Armory Hellcat is junk. So here we go. So here we go. As I said, first up is going to be an accuracy test from a distance of 7 yards. And the ammunition for today's test is 124 grain full metal jacket 9mm ammunition supplied by House of Pain Munitions. I want to say thanks to House of Pain for providing this ammunition today. And also, I've always found this to be very accurate ammunition. So I think it's going to work very well for this test. So let's see how our problem child does from 7 yards. Doesn't look too bad to me, other than a little bit high. I was aiming at the bottom of that numeral 1. Let's take a closer look. So my point of aim was right here at the bottom of the numeral 1, and I have a group just above the numeral 1, well centered, that's probably an inch center to center. Let's see how my Hellcat does on this drill. Okay, 7-yard accuracy, take 2. This is going to be with my pistol, and we'll see how it does. Looks pretty comparable. Let's go up and take a closer look at this one. All right, group size is virtually the same, about 1 inch center to center. I'm liking my elevation a little bit better with my own pistol than I did with the one that belongs to my friend. Again, my point of aim was right here at the bottom of the numeral 1, and I've got shots that are basically just slightly above that, so using a 6 o'clock hold, this is where I would want them to strike. I'm hitting slightly to the right, but with a handgun like this for its intended application, I'm not worried about that at all. Let's move on to some defensive drills. Next up, I'm going to go to 5 yards, and I'll be shooting controlled pairs at the body of the target, and we'll see how each one of the handguns does with that. And I'm now set up at that distance of 5 yards. By the way, each time I switch handguns before I fire the drill, I'm doing 5 dry fire practices just to reacclimate myself to the trigger of this particular handgun, or the other one. So let's see what happens from here. Not feeling too bad about that from 5 yards. And of course, once again, my target camera died. And I didn't think I was going to have that problem today because it's a little cooler out, but obviously the sun is just beating down on my camera and it's too much for it to be able to take. In any case, there is the group for those 3 controlled pairs from a distance of 5 yards, and that accuracy is not looking bad to me. I was holding right here because I noticed it was hitting high before, and everything stayed more or less well centered in the target. All 6 of those shots are on the heart. You can sort of see the subdued outline of the heart right there. So in any case, let's change over now. Hopefully my camera will survive, and we'll see how my pistol does on this drill. So here we go, controlled pairs from 5 yards with my Hellcat. Might help if I chamber around. Pretty much right on accuracy-wise with the problem child Hellcat. So now I'll move back to a distance of 7 yards after I give my target camera a chance to cool off and fire some failure drills from there, 2 shots to the body and 1 shot to the head with both handguns, and we'll see how they do. Okay, failure drills from 7 yards. It's going to be 2 shots to the body and 1 shot to the head in rapid succession. By the way, I'm now having to move my target camera into the shade and then back out in front of the targets between each video segment. So what I thought was going to be a short, fun video is turning into more work than I expected. Can't really complain a whole lot about that. Let's go up and take a closer look. Okay, so of the 6 shots to the body, I've got 4 on the heart, 1 in each lung, and I've got 3 shots in the no reflex zone to the head. So our problem child doesn't seem to be doing too bad. Let me grab my pistol before I lose my target camera again, and we'll see how it does. All right, 3 more failure drills. I don't know, folks. I think they're running pretty close to each other. All right, so with my pistol, I've got 5 out of the 6 body shots on the heart, 1 shot in a lung, 2 in the no reflex zone, and 1 of them, well, as far as the target's concerned, this is not in the no reflex zone, but that's pretty much dead center geometrically in the head, so I got a feeling our bad guy here would not know too much difference as to whether this bullet was here or here. So now, next up, I'm going to move back to a distance of 15 yards, and from that distance, I'm going to fire 5 shots into the body of the target with each handgun, once again, starting out with the problem Hellcat. And here we go, 5 shots from 15 yards, starting with my friend's Hellcat. Okay, that group is a little bigger than I expected and somewhat off to the left. Let's go take a look. Actually, walking down range, this group doesn't look that bad. From back there at 15 yards, I thought it looked bigger. I've got 4 out of the 5 shots that are, you could probably cover them with a playing card. They are a little bit off to the left, and I have one just outside of this big square. Now they are hitting high, which doesn't come as a shock since my initial group up here when I did the accuracy test was a little bit high. My point of aim was down here, so the center of the group is probably 3 inches above my point of aim, give or take. Let's see how my pistol does from that distance. So 5 shots at 15 yards with my Hellcat. Group size looks pretty comparable, and I also notice I'm hitting just a little high with this pistol now too. So let's walk down range. Okay, so we're starting to stretch out the range for these short-barreled, short sight radius handguns. And my group there is still, maybe I couldn't quite cover all 5 of those shots with a playing card. Maybe I could if I held it just right. So not really a bad sized group for this kind of a handgun from that distance. It is a little high. My point of aim was right about here, and with my handgun I'm hitting maybe 2 inches high. So a little bit of that could be me. Maybe just the way I'm seeing the sights today and these lighting conditions and everything is causing me to hit a little bit high. But let's see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and go back to 25 yards, and I'm really going to try to concentrate on my sights from that distance. I'm going to slow down my shot tempo and see just what kind of accuracy I can get with both of these handguns at that distance. So here we go, 5 shots from 25 yards, and I will try to fire the best 5 shots that I can. Okay, let's go see where they hit. So from 25 yards, that group is definitely opening up some, but still, I've got 3 of them inside of this center square. One of them's a spine shot. One of them went a little high into the left on me, but we're talking about a 3-inch, maybe slightly more than that, sight radius with this handgun, and I'm firing it from 25 yards, so this is going to be a bit of a stretch, and they're all still staying within the torso of the body, so I'm not feeling too bad about the accuracy out of this problem child Hellcat. Let's see how mine does from that distance. So here we go, 5 shots from 25 yards with my pistol. Go see how it did. Almost exactly the same size group, folks. Only this time, instead of an errant shot going off to the left, I've got an errant shot going off to the right. Everything is still staying nicely centered in the chest with mine. Probably, I don't know, actually I would say they're both about as centered. I think maybe the 4 shots here are a little closer with mine, but the overall group is about the same. And once more, from that distance with that little handgun, I'm pretty darn happy with that accuracy. I wasn't going to do this, but I'm curious now. I want to find out if our problem child Hellcat is a 7-yard tack driver. So I'm going to grab a tack, I'm going to put it in the target, I'm going to load up 3 rounds in that pistol, and let's find out. So is this problem child Hellcat a 7-yard tack driver? Let's find out. I'm going to call that a yes. The problem child Springfield Armory Hellcat is a 7-yard tack driver. So yeah, folks, our problem child Hellcat, I think, shot pretty well. At any reasonable distance, which I would say is closer than 15 yards, and even from 15 yards, truthfully, it demonstrated perfectly acceptable accuracy. Now I will say, with the accuracy enhancements this pistol has received, I don't think it shot any better than my stock Hellcat, but I also don't think it shot really any worse. And as I said, as we got farther and farther back, the groups did open up, but even when we pressed it into service at 25 yards, it was keeping shots in the upper torso area of a human-sized target. So I think that's about as much as we can expect from a handgun of this size. It was a 7-yard tack driver. So the question about why my friend has so much difficulty with the accuracy of this Hellcat, I would say the answer to that would have to be a mystery. In any case, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments, as always, make sure you forward those to me. Remember, if you purchase anything from Optics Planet, be sure to use my discount code, which is... And if you use that discount code, it's good for 7% off your purchase from Optics Planet. Almost said 5%, but it's up to 7% now. Also, if you go to House of Pain Munitions, you can use my discount code there, which is HRFUNK10. That'll save you 10% off your purchase from House of Pain Munitions, and I want to thank them again for providing the ammunition for today's test. Last but not least is a Target sponsor for the channel. Go to Target's online, check out their inventory, and see if they have anything that's going to meet your Target needs. See you next time, folks. Until then, good shooting. Bye-bye.